my live review for Fight Night Champion. Basically, more like talking about, I guess you could say, should you play it now or should you not play it? And so that's where I'm kind of coming from here as far as my review is concerned. I'm going to talk about a few things, primarily, graphics, replayability, really all of the above as far as, what you look at, like a Game Informer magazine, everything, like that. And I would say that this game, even today, still holds up pretty well when it comes to, graphics or, being able to play online even. You're still even able to play online. So I think that's pretty awesome that you're able to, still play it today online. Game's a decade old. And so, really, I think that just if you haven't played it already, I think you should. So I'll kind of show you, right here. The main thing I look at, for a game this old is, the graphics. Really, like, how good the graphics are.
There was a lot of talk in the lead up to this
for a game
saying, hey,
this old. The type of graphics is good. I would say it's pretty astounding, actually. I think the biggest thing about this game is that if if it just came out like online or something, or a brand new game, from the marketplace, you would think that, like, oh wow, this is pretty good graphically, but it's a 10-year-old game. So the combat's pretty fluid. I think for its time, this was really the type of game that everybody wanted to play if you were a boxing fan. And it still holds up today. I mean, other than the fact that you're missing a lot of characters, boxers, like the Anthony Joshua's, Tyson Fury's, Canelo Alvarez's are missing, and that's because they haven't, updated in the game in probably, almost a decade itself. So that's what you're kind of dealing with here. So I would say, even the story mode, talk about replayability, even if you didn't play online, story mode's fun. I don't want to, I guess it doesn't really matter because it's how old the game is. In this situation, you're a boxer that the whole point is that you were like a middleweight, I believe, or a cruiserweight, cruiserweight, and then he moved up in weight. Andre Bishop was the fighter's name that you are. He's not real. Some sort of voice actor, they used, and
how about that? Another right hand.
And it's pretty good. Pretty good game, I think. I would recommend anyone play it.
And you see what he can do when he sends that right to the head.
Playing on, I'm sort of playing on easy, so just playing as Tyson. Like I said, it's a really, oh, there we go, got dropped. Sometimes the cool thing about this game is the KOs that happen. Up close, you can see the hair is kind of messed up a little bit, but like the pixelation, you can see where some of the areas they had to allow for
in the next few moments of this fight,
the let up, for the graphics. You see that, things like the graphics where the pants are, are moving. So it looks really good, really shiny, just a really good game to play still. I would, rocked. It has a cool recovery system. I usually just skip it because I really don't care. but as a cool recovery little system mini game that you can play. So many different boxers. There's a lot of boxers in the game. There's a cool mode where you can use bare knuckles, so you can bleed, really badly. This you can bleed here too, but bare knuckle mode is pretty wild, pretty intense, and so that's what you're kind of looking at. The intensity of the blood in that mode, and even you have old school heavyweights like Jack Johnson in the game. Rocky Marciano. You had to buy those in a DLC package. Really, the game, I think right now you can find it on sale between $5 and $20 as normal price, I believe. I've seen it $10 a few times too. If you're able to find it at any of those prices, even at $20, I would say worth buying, especially if you're looking at a situation where there's not very many games. If you have an Xbox One S, One X, or Series S or X, any of the newer Xbox consoles, I think if you don't have this game yet, you should definitely get it, because it looks really clean. I think on an HD console, on a 4K TV, it might look a little cleaner, but obviously it's about 1080p. So, like I said, it looks really clean. Graphics-wise, the gameplay is pretty fluid. The story mode, the champion mode, is I think a really cool, cool mode. You have at the end you have a boss battle with Isaac Frost. He becomes the main enemy, and it's a really long fight you have to have with him, and it's really a good fight. I mean, it's fun. Like you can't just, like this right here, you can't KO someone Isaac in the first round. You have to go, throughout the whole fight, and do little mini missions in each round, and do it that way. So I think it's really cool, and I think that anyone who picks up this game will have a really good time. Multiplayer mode is great, and so I think that you should pick it up if you have an Xbox. Now, if you have a PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5, this isn't backwards compatible, so I don't know if I would recommend. I mean, you have the UFC games out now. All 4 of them came out for the Xbox Series X, and goes all the way back to the Xbox One. And then for the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 5, you have that backwards compatibility there. So if you don't have this game yet and you're on the PlayStation, I don't know if I would say you should get it. Just because, you have to set up a separate console and have to have the game up and running, through, another HDMI port. It's a lot of work. And I would think that you may not want to do that in that situation, but as far as the replayability, overall package of the game, I would think that this is probably one of the best boxing games of all time. Not from an arcade standpoint, but from a simulation standpoint, I don't think you can go any better than this game right here. And the graphics look like, honestly, they're really close to what you'd be looking at currently when it comes to a game that's come out. Like I said, the online play is there. So, this is a pretty good game. I would say if don't have it yet, get it. Even if you have a PS3, I would think that it's worth getting in that case. So overall, I'm not going to give it a rating, but I would say that I think that you should play this game now, especially more than ever with the UFC games. Really not. They're okay, but they don't really pack a good of a punch like this does. The gameplay is just phenomenal. Fun game to play. Instant KOs and stuff like that. And look how it looks very realistic to me. And the character models, again, they pretty unique to each fighter. The character models look better. And I think from a characteristic of the graphics, an art style, I guess, is the best term for it. The art style is just, 1,000 times better to me than the UFC games. Like, they look really awkward looking. They're a little shinier in this, but, actually a lot of boxers, you see their fights, they do look shiny like this sometimes. But there are a lot of people out there that probably, if you were playing this, they wouldn't be able to tell if you're playing a game or not. So, overall, it's a knockout. And you should get the game. I mean, I'd even go as far as say, if you have a PS3 and it's still connected, get it. If you just have the PS4, PS5, it's not worth, going back a generation to buy this game. Really, the biggest thing is if you have an Xbox Series X or S, and you're in the Xbox ecosystem, you got to get the game. I think you have to have this game. It's just in your collection, digital, or I would think digital. They always have a good deal, so I would get that game. So, like I said, overall, one of the best games I've ever played as far as boxing wise. Now, like I said, you're gonna have the games like Punch Out, Ready to Rumble, that are like classic arcade games to play with your friends. But this is just overall the best package for any sort of fighting combat game really ever. And so I think that you have to go out and get this game.
Frazier's corner needs to really
I can finish this in the first round.
They also need to give him some sound advice.
And it's fun that the slow-mo knockouts. See if I can get him out of here. Come on. Let's do this. Finish. Get him. Get the punch. Come on, David Hay. Get the haymaker. Oh, yes. Come on. Don't let him beat the bell. I think that's it. Like I said, I love the replays. Just a beautiful game overall. And after 10 years, man, this game came out tomorrow. For $20, I all over this thing and be like, wow, this graphics are nice. And like I said, to me, it's a must-buy. Let me know what you think about the video. This is my first video, so appreciate you watching. I'm gonna have more videos where we're gonna have edits, and doing things like that, just getting started out. So the answer to the question of the video is you should play